Hello, traders. FXPIPCOLLECTOR here. Today is Monday, and it is January 15th. So, hello, how's it going? How's everybody doing? Good morning, good afternoon, maybe even good evening, depending on where you are. So, yeah, let's see. Today is actually a bank holiday for the U.S., but that doesn't necessarily mean that the dollar isn't actually going to move. It probably is going to tell us that there might be a little bit of a lack of volatility in the dollar pairs today, but actually, we've had a pretty decent little day, especially compared to how the last week or so has been going. I mean, the last week has been very, very, very slow on the US dollar. You can just look at this US dollar, and for just a second, you can pretty much see that we pretty much have been sideways for more than a week now. Pretty much one, two, three, four, five, six, maybe about seven, eight, maybe nine trading days or so. It's been pretty much completely sideways on the US dollar. So, very, very sideways market, as you can see. But it looks like we're trying to break out today. It looks like things are going pretty much exactly as planned, which is awesome news for us because I am already short the euro dollar from last week. So definitely good news for us and good news for anybody on my Patreon service that has followed along with me. Now, if anybody, before we get started, if anybody is interested, my Patreon service, you get a lot for your money. That's for sure. You get access to all the things on this list right here, and the link for that is in the chat and the description. But you get access to a trading course, 7.5 hours of content, and I am now doing live streams every single London session, and 4 days a week I do live streams for the New York session for only my premium members. So definitely check that out if anybody's interested. I mean, like I said, you definitely get a lot for your money, and it's actually a very, very cheap service compared to what you would pay for most people in these type of services. So definitely give that a look if you're interested. The link is in the chat and in the description. So yeah, we do these live trading sessions Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I do London live streams for my premium members, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday I do New York session. On Monday I do a YouTube live stream for everybody, which is what you guys are all at now. So, anyways, let's get started. Let's look at the US dollar pairs as usual. We're going to look at the US dollar, probably the DXY a little bit. We're going to apply whatever information we learned from analyzing the US dollar and DXY, and we're going to take that information and we're going to apply it to all the US dollar pairs. I use the US dollar as pretty much like a roadmap to help me trade all the US dollar pairs. So, like I always say, without your roadmap, you'd probably be completely lost. So, anyways, US dollar, I mean, I still believe that we are going up probably for quite a little bit of time. Now, on January 31st, we have interest rate coming out again for the US dollar, which it seems to me like that is going to be probably the most likely time for the US dollar to make a turn back down. I think is going to be at the interest rate on January 31st. Now, most likely, I'm still a big believer that the US dollar is going to keep going down. I still think there's a very good chance this is going up in a crescent and that this is probably a 1-2 of C or possibly a 1-2 of 3. Either scenario, I mean, I still believe that this is going to go down. I mean, yeah, I do think it is going to probably spend the next couple of weeks going up, but I also do believe that it is going to go down to make a 3, 4, 5 of wave C, which will end up looking like this. Probably going down to the 100% Fibonacci extension of wave A, projected off the top of wave B, most likely. Or possibly it is going to go down and make a wave 3, which would look more like this. So either scenario, I mean, it's not really important to know whether we really are in a wave C or whether we really are in a wave 3. What's important to know at this point is that we are probably still in a move to the downside. This move up is very, very likely that this move up is just going to be a crutch into this move down, like a 1 and a 2 most likely. So let's take it down to the daily time frame. So far I only have my Fibonacci retracement on this last push down because so far there really hasn't been any break of structure except for this right here. That break of structure necessarily does not tell us that the whole trend is over. That just tells us that this last series of lower lows, lower highs is over. It definitely doesn't tell us that the whole trend is over. So that is something that we definitely need to keep in mind, which is why I definitely only have my Fibonacci retracement on this last push down right here. Because this for sure it could go up just to like the 78% and then keep on going down. If it really is a wave one and it really is a wave two, then wave twos normally do take out the high or the low of wave four. But we don't really know that it's a wave two right yet. All we really know is that it probably is a correction, and it could possibly be a correction to just the last series of lower lows, lower highs. So going down to the 1 hour time frame, on the 1 hour time frame, I still am very bullish on the US dollar. I mean, I still think that the US dollar is going up in longer term for sure. This look how sideways the US dollar has been. And really, um, technically, this has been in a range for about 9 trading days right now, and it is actually still in that range right now. It really hasn't broken out yet, and it really hasn't given us any reason to really believe for sure that this is actually going up or down. So I am still believing that it's going to go up. I still think it is more likely that it will go up and that it will continue up. But really, like I said, we are in a range, and it hasn't broken out of that range yet. So really, we had to kind of rely on the higher time frames a little bit when you're in these type of scenarios. And the higher time frames are definitely telling us that this trend is up, and hopefully the trend will continue up. Most likely, what's going to happen is this is going to do something like this, I believe, over the next week or two, and maybe even go all the way up and take out the high wave forward, and then probably on January 31st is when I would expect to see another push down. So yeah, a lot of people are probably wondering what I'm doing on the US dollar. Now, like I always say, I use the US dollar as a roadmap to help me trade all the US dollar pairs. Because if I know what the US dollar is doing, then I can have a very good idea of what all the US dollar pairs are doing also. So let's switch over to the euro dollar and do that. Let's just start off on the daily time frame. We don't really necessarily have to do a full top-down analysis. If you want to see my full top-down analysis, just check out my euro dollar video from this morning and you'll see that, or so forth, the pound dollar, whatever it is you look interested in. So the euro dollar to me, I mean, it definitely does have a one, two, three, four, five wave shape to it. And I mean, it definitely could be a wave one. And if this really is a wave two, then it probably will go down. It probably will take out the low of wave four, maybe all the way down to the 61.8 to make a wave two. And then it would probably go back up for a wave three. So to me, it still seems pretty likely this is a one, this is a two, and then eventually it's going to go up for a wave three. So definitely still thinking that. Now, going down to the shorter time frames, I mean, to me, it really does look like the wave B is already over. It looks to me like we have a downtrend, one, two, three, four, five of A. It looks to me like this spike right here is a wave A, which is probably a little bit easier to see on the 1 hour. One, two, three waves down, probably already made a wave B. Most likely, it's already made a nice uptrend for the wave C. We got a 38.2% Fibonacci bounce. It's really not that impulsive down yet. That's the only problem with it, but it still seems to me like it should be trending down. And if it really is a wave C of wave two, then probably the 100%, the 123 might even be more likely because, like I said, most wave twos do take out the low or the high of wave four. So if this really is a one and this really is an ABC of two, then most likely it will take out the low of wave four. So I still think there's a pretty good chance that it is going to go down. I think there's a pretty good chance we're already in this wave C and that it should go down to the 123, possibly the 100, maybe even the 138% Fibonacci extension of wave A projected off the top of wave B. So let's take a look at that on the 1 hour time frame. 1 hour time frame, like I said, man, it is awful sideways. I mean, all the dollar pairs, especially the euro dollar, has just been in this one big range for a very long time now. Not really a whole lot of action on the dollar pairs for over the last week or so. But I mean, there is definitely some clarity here. One, two, three, four, five. Most likely this is a wave A. This big spike up right here, I bet is a wave A or B. This definitely looks to me like three waves down for a B or B. And it does look to me like an uptrend, most likely a wave C of wave B. If that really is a wave C or B, then this should continue to make lower lows, lower highs, and it should just keep on trending down like I was showing on the higher time frames. Probably all part of this wave C. This should be a wave A over here. This should be a wave B. This should be now going down for wave C, just like I was showing and explaining on the 4 hour time frame. So anyways, let's move on. Let's check out the pound dollar. Really, they're all kind of expecting to do very, very similar things, and they're all going to do pretty much what the dollar's going to do. And the dollar does seem like it's going up, so most likely these are going to go down. They all kind of have that one, two, three, four, five shape too. And with an impulsive move down, corrective up, probably going to be another impulsive down, probably go down to at least a 50%, take out the lower wave 4. I still expect this is going to be a 1, probably a 2, and I still think it's going to go up for a wave 3. I still think that this is all a wave 3 on the weekly time frame and up, and this is a running flat wave 2. And right now we're at a 1 of 3, a 2 of 3, and most likely eventually it's going to make a wave 3 of wave 3. So let's take it down to the 4-hour time frame. 4-hour time frame, kind of the same story as the euro dollar. I mean, it definitely looks like it made 5 waves down. Most likely this is an A, most likely this is a B, most likely this is a C, and most likely we are already going down in that bigger wave C. So this is an A, this is an A, B, C, a B, and most likely we're going down for a wave C. I still expect that the most likely place for this wave C to go is probably to take out the lower wave 4, which would actually probably put us down at the 123 or possibly the 138 to finish this wave C. So let's take it down to the 1 hour because the 1 hour is actually a little bit on the clearer side, most likely of what is actually going on here. Now, I actually think the wave A probably ends over here. Let me fix this real quick. Most likely this wave A actually ends right here, even though this is overlapping. Trends inside of a correction do definitely overlap sometimes, so most likely this is a downtrend, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of wave A. Most likely this big impulsive move up is the A, this is the B, and this right here is the wave C. We bounced off that 78% Fibonacci retracement level several times, made a nice impulsive move to the downside, so I think there's a good chance the wave C is already over. I still think there's a very good likelihood that we are already going down, probably in that bigger wave C, most likely that wave C of wave 2, like I was showing and explaining on the higher time frames. So definitely looking for shorts. And really, there's actually been a couple pretty nice shorts this morning. Definitely been some good shorts already today on the pound dollar. So the Aussie dollar, I mean, like I said, they're all pretty much the same. The Aussie dollar is pretty strong to the downside, but the Aussie does have a tendency to make strong moves up and then strong moves down. So it kind of makes sense that this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, probably a 1. This is still probably an ABC of 2. I mean, it doesn't have to take out the lower wave 4, but most of the time wave 2s do take out the lower wave 4, so that would probably put us down more likely to the 61.8, maybe look something like this, and then I think it's still going to go up and make that big wave 3 like I've been saying for weeks now. So definitely looking at that. So going down to the 4-hour time frame. 4-hour time frame, you can see that same downtrend right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of A. Most likely this is an A, B, C of B, and most likely we are going down already for that wave C. Now, like I said, it doesn't have to take out the lower wave 4, but most of the time they do, which would actually probably put us all the way down to like the 123, maybe end up looking something like this before we get that break of structure to the outside, ending this ABC correction, and most likely continuing the uptrend. Most likely 1, 2, and wave 3. I think this is all actually a wave C of wave Y on the higher time frames. If you watch my full top down analysis, you should know exactly what I mean by that. So taking it down to the 1-hour time frame. 1-hour time frame, I mean, it definitely looks like a downtrend, just like I was saying, and this is definitely all a downtrend. A, this is very corrective sideways, A, B, C, or B, just like the pound and the euro. And most likely this is a 1, a 2, and most likely we are going down. Now, that doesn't mean there's not going to be some pullbacks along the way, but I still believe that it will, especially on these higher time frames, continue to make lower lows and lower highs. So I would definitely continue to look for shorts. Now, a lot of these other pairs, I don't actually have labels because I have my own charts that I actually share with my members. These are my charts right here that I actually share with my Patreon members. And this is where I have all my LA wave labels and all that type of stuff on there that I use. But those are pretty much only for my members, so that's why I don't really um, keep up on these. But this is definitely the same story on the Kiwi dollar that this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It actually seems quite a bit clearer even that this is a 1, that this is a 2, and that it probably is going to continue up for a wave 3. So definitely same concept as the Aussie dollar for sure. Most likely this is a downtrend right here, wave A. This is actually pretty clear. 1, 2, 3 waves up, A, B, C, or B. And I do believe we're going down, probably going down to take out this low for a wave C. Probably an ABC of 2, just like what I was saying on the Aussie. Well, ABC of 2, eventually go back up for wave 3. So, taking it down to the 1 hour time frame, and I mean, I would definitely be looking for sorts right now. I think this point right here is the end of that wave B, and I think we're now going down for wave C. It looks like a 1, 2, 3, probably 4, 5. It might make a pullback going into this afternoon, especially because today is a bank holiday in the U.S. It is Martin Luther King Day today, so I wouldn't be surprised if these pairs did start to slow down a little bit this afternoon. But overall, I think the trend is down. I do believe that this is going to continue to make lower lows, lower highs. I would definitely be looking for pullback entries to go short for the continuation of the downtrend for sure. So definitely looking for shorts on that. US dollar CAD has actually been a very strong one. It's pretty much the same story as the rest of them, though, honestly. I mean, it looks like a downtrend. If it really is a 1 and a 2, which it probably is, then most likely it would take out the high of wave 4, end up doing some sort of a corrective wave all the way up to this probably high of wave 4 before it ends in wave 2 and continues back down, probably in a wave 3. I think this is very likely to be a wave C on the weekly and the monthly time frames. 4 hour time frame, most likely this first push up ending someplace around here is probably the wave A. This is still very corrective, even though it's got an upward slant. It's probably a wave B, and it's probably going up now for a wave C, which potentially is going to go up and take out these highs before we get that breaker structure to the downside, and probably before we get that bigger push to the downside. A, B, and C most likely. Probably an ABC of 2 based on the higher time frames. Probably a wave 1. Eventually, most likely, go down for that wave 3. So for sure, looking pretty predictable so far. And the US dollar CAD has actually been very strong, so this has been a very good choice for trading to the upside, definitely. I mean, look at this wave B, and it has a wicked slant up. I mean, I think that it still has an ABC, a B in here somewhere, but most likely now it's a 1, 2, and it's in a wave 3 of this uptrend, which most likely this uptrend is a wave C on the higher time frame. So I would for sure be looking for pullback entries to go long for the continuation of this uptrend for sure. So let's move on to the US dollar Swiss. I don't really have any labels on this one, like I said, because all my labels are on these members charts right here. So it is the same story though. I do still believe that this move up is very likely to be a Crescent, most likely to this move down. And I still expect that it probably is going to make a lower low, lower high. Lower low, lower low, most likely keep on trending down. Most likely still in a wave. Let's see. I mean, this one is probably a wave C also, but let's take it down to the 4 hour. 4 hour time frame, I mean, I think it's pretty dang clear that this is an uptrend. There's definitely 5 waves right there. Wave A. I think it's pretty clear that this is a 3 wave pullback. It's actually kind of looks like a running flat in my opinion because 3 waves down, 3 waves up, 3 waves down, or it's possibly a WXY, a triple three pattern. Either way, I think it's a wave B, and either way, I think that it probably is going to drift up for a wave C. Now, like I said, we do have to remember that today is a bank holiday for the U.S. It is Martin Luther King Day today, which is probably going to be pretty slow this afternoon for London, for the New York session. But we do have some pretty important stuff going on this week. One of the most important things that we have going on this week is actually it's labeled as a low-level news event, but it really is kind of an important thing, which is this. Where is it? Right here, the WEF meeting. We have the World Economic Forum going on this week, Monday through Friday, and that is definitely a pretty important news event for sure. And it goes on all throughout the week. And it even says in the description that it's very likely to be a high volatile event right here. Hey, Quiz, how's it going? Doing pretty good. World Economic Forum is going on this week. 90 countries all meeting, and yeah, so this is all central banks of 90 countries are all meeting up. So that is a very important news event in my opinion, and it's going on all throughout the week. So Hopefully that's going to help move these markets along because the market has, especially the dollar pairs, have been so slow this year. We really only are in week two, maybe going on week three of this 2024, and the market has just been so slow when it comes to the dollar pairs. Now, the US dollar yen, I always kind of consider the US dollar yen more of a yen pair than a dollar pair. And now, when it comes to all the yen pairs, I do am a big believer that this possibly could just keep on going up, and it possibly could go up and make a new high, especially looking at all yen pairs. Now, as we go down to a little bit of a shorter time frame, I definitely see the possibility of this being a wave A, this being a wave B, this going up, bouncing off a fib level, and going down and making a wave C. I mean, it definitely does seem likely that it could do that, and we have to try to keep all possibilities in mind. But looking at all yen pairs, I am a believer that this, yeah, maybe it will bounce off some fib levels, but I think there's a good chance it's going to continue to make higher lows, and it's not going to break structure, and that it most likely is going to just continue to make these higher highs, higher lows, and just keep on trending up. So going down to the let's see, 4 hour time frame. Now, I definitely so far have this labeled as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because it definitely does look like it is forming that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of A. I mean, this does look like a big impulsive up. This does look like a three-way pattern down. This does look like an impulsive up. It definitely does fit the characteristics of an ABC of B. And if it is an ABC of B, then we should better recognize that by seeing a Fibonacci bounce, seeing a break of structure. If we see this picture right here, then we'll know that this is a wave B, and we'll start going short accordingly. And probably it's going to go down and make that big wave C like I was showing on the daily. But looking at all yen pairs and the JPY basket, I mean, I see the possibility, maybe even more likely, that it's just going to keep on bouncing off these fib levels, making higher highs, higher lows, and just keep on trending up, which is why I'm definitely a buyer primarily until I see this picture right here. If I see that picture right there, then I'm definitely going to become a seller and I'll be trading the heck out of that thing to the downside. But until I see that picture right there, I'm definitely looking at this as maybe a wave B or maybe the continuation of the uptrend. So, like I said, looking at all yen pairs, I do think there is a pretty good possibility that all the yen pairs could just keep on trending up. It actually seems pretty dang likely to me. Now, this ABC correction that we had on Friday was very clear. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave A. Let's take it right down to the 30-minute. I usually don't do that in these live streams, but down on the 30-minute time frame, it's even more clear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave A. 1, 2, 3 waves up with a break of structure, wave B. Nice impulsive move down, wave C. And then it turned back up with impulsive engulfing movement to the upside. I think it's pretty clear that this made an ABC correction on Friday, and it's been trending up ever since. That was an extremely nice little entry right there. Very, very nice little entry. So yeah, I mean, I would personally definitely still be looking for longs, like I was saying, unless I see this picture right here. I'm gonna be a buyer because I think there's a good chance that it may not even do that. I think there's a better chance that it's just gonna do something like that, continue to make those higher highs, higher lows. Excuse me. So I mean, I would definitely still primarily be looking for longs in an uptrend for sure. How about gold? I could kind of picture gold going either way, tell you the truth, but when it comes to the higher time phase, this one I definitely want to go up to the weekly because I do think that gold is in a wave three right now, and if gold really is in a wave three, then this thing has actually got a lot of upside potential. I think this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of one. I think this is an ABC of two. I think we're already in a wave three. And yes, it possibly could go down on shorter time frames, but I think overall in these higher time frames, it's going to keep going up in a wave three. And if this really is a wave three, this thing's got a lot of upside potential. My original target on gold was 2250, but right around the 61.8% Fibonacci extensions. But looking at this more and reevaluating and thinking about the fact that it probably really is a wave three, I bet this thing is actually going to go a lot higher than the 2250, potentially a lot higher than that. So now we take it down to the daily. Hopefully, it'll make a little more sense. I'm going to kind of skip past the daily because the 4 hour is actually the one with a little bit more clarity, in my opinion. Most likely this is three waves down, which it definitely is. Most likely this is three waves up, which it really looks like it is to me. So we have three waves down, we have three waves up. Usually when you see something like this, it will lead to a five wave down or possibly a three wave down. If it's three waves down, that could definitely work too. Three waves down would be ABC of W. It would be a WXY. So I believe that this is a trend, one, two, three, four, five. Now this is either going to be a wave one, and this is going to be ABC of two, and this is going to go down, make a three, four, five. That's possibility number one for gold. So that's one possibility, is that this is going to be a 335 pattern, which would be a flat, in my opinion. Or the other possibility is that this is a WXY, and this first three waves is a W, this next three waves is an X, and now we're in a wave Y. So if that's the case, then this first five-wave pattern down is an A of Y. This is three waves up for a B of Y, and now it's going to go down, make a five-wave pattern down for a C of wave Y, and then we'd have a WXY pattern. What's a WXY pattern is a triple three pattern, 333 pattern. So which one is it going to do? I really have no idea, but we should be able to watch it. We should be able to recognize it, whatever it decides to do. So going down to the sort of time frames, I mean, it definitely looks pretty bullish still, doesn't it? I honestly wouldn't be surprised if it did go up again and it maybe even took out this high. I'm not really convinced that this is actually over yet. I would have to see either a significant lower high, which we did get one here, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Or preferably, I'd like to see it go down, break structure, and if it does that, then that would definitely turn me into a long-term seller for sure. But until that happens, I mean, I think there's a possibility that it could go up again, maybe even take out this high before it actually goes down. But you could definitely see the trend. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave one, ABC. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave two, ABC. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops, I definitely did mess that up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave three, ABC, wave four. This is the wave two. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave five. So we definitely got a five-wave pattern right there for sure. And this still to me looks like it's an ABC. So like I said, this is either an ABC of like an ABC of Y, or this is going to be like a one, a two, and it's going to go down for a wave three. So either scenario, I think we should better recognize it pretty easily. So I don't really think we have any issues there. I think that we're pretty much on track for having this figured out pretty easily. So now that we've gone through all the dollar pairs, I really do like to dedicate, at least the second half of this to looking at pretty much whatever people would like. I'm I think the second half of these live streams should be dedicated to looking at whatever pair people like. So if you have something that you would like me to look at, definitely put it in the chats. I'd be more than happy to look at basically anything that you guys like. And while you're doing that, I just want to explain one more time my Patreon service because, like I said, I'm trying to promote that. Now, if you do sign up for my Patreon service, you get a trading course, which is 7.5 hours long. I do a 90-minute to 2-hour live stream every single London session, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday for my premium members. With this right here is live trading. So, I mean, we trade during these live sessions if there is a trade. Um, you get access to my educational library, which has a ton of good information. Yeah, I get access to my private Discord channels. I sell all my swing trades. And Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I do live streams for my premium members during the New York session, more than roughly 2 hours. So you get like a 90-minute London live stream, and you get a 2-hour London live stream, New York live stream every day. So you get about 3.5 hours of live trading every single day as a premium member. So I mean, like I said, you do get a lot for your money. I do a wicked lot for my members. We got some people on there that are killing it right now. We got a few members that have been really, really killing it big time, and we actually have a few people that are saying that they're pretty much quit their jobs and they're pretty much trading now. That's pretty much all they're doing. So definitely check that out. The link for that is in the description and in the chats. We are also doing this little bit of a challenge. It's kind of my version of the 20 pip challenge. I'm doing this with my premium Patreon members. Like I said, it's the 20 pip challenge, but it's my version of that. Basically, what I'm doing is I'm starting off with this balance right here, but basically we're making our way down the spreadsheet, which is a compounding spreadsheet. And basically, what it is you could potentially, if you have a high leverage broker, start off at $100, and if you make your way all the way through this spreadsheet, potentially at the end you could have $87,000. Now, this is only going to work if you have a high leverage broker like a 500 to 1 leverage, which I do not have. So I'm looking to turn $37,000 into about $125,000 by the time I get to the bottom of this spreadsheet. So that's kind of the challenge that I've given myself. And anybody that is a Patreon member can work through here, and we take live trades on those sessions. So anybody that is a Patreon member can work their way through this challenge with me if they would like. You like I said, if you do have a high leverage broker, you could potentially turn $100 into a lot of money by working your way down through the spreadsheet, this compounding spreadsheet. So if anybody is interested, definitely check it out. I mean, like I said, I do a lot for my members. It comes with a trading plan. It comes with all kinds of good information. So yeah, we already looked at the pound dollar. We already looked at the pound dollar. So I mean, like I said, if anybody has some requests, feel free to do so. I have no problem looking at pretty much anything. The pound dollar, we already looked at it, but I can do another quick little look, which is most likely this is a downtrend for the A. Most likely this is A, B, C of B, and most likely we are trending down for that bigger wave C, which I think is possibly going to go down, take out the low wave 4. I think there's a pretty good chance it's going to go down to one of these fib extensor levels. Probably more likely to 138 because that lines up pretty well with that area to make a wave C. Probably a 1, probably a 2. Eventually end this wave C and go up for wave 3. So see, it's pretty likely that that is going to be the most likely outcome for that, for sure. So like I said, if anybody, SPX, yeah. NVIDIA. Yeah, that probably is a strange chart. Is that NVDA? Is that NVIDIA? Like NVIDIA graphic cards? I definitely don't really look at specific stocks very often. I definitely do look at indices, but specific stocks, I don't really actually do stock market. But I mean, like I said, I would look at pretty much anything. So if we have time and nobody else has any requests, I'll look at pretty much anything, no problem. So the S&P 500 is actually just about in all-time highs again, which is good. Now it definitely looks like it's in a wave 5, doesn't it? I mean, it looks like a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5. I would actually think that it would kind of continue up more. I think there's more likely it's going to end up, around this 49 to $5,000 range. So I'm still very bullish on it. I don't really see any reason to think otherwise as of yet. Now, what's going to turn me into a seller? Well, if I see it go down and I see it break structure, that'll turn me into a seller. Until that happens, I would definitely primarily be looking for long still for sure. We had an end of a crescent recently. This big push down right here, I'd say, is a wave A. This is a little bit of a higher high right here, but I think that's a wave B. I think this is a wave C. I think it's a little bit of a running flat because we have a higher high wave B, or an extending flat, I mean. Higher high wave B, lower low wave C, 3 waves down. It definitely fits the characteristics of a expanding flat for sure. So I would definitely still be primarily bullish. Now the stock market, I think, is pretty much closed today. I don't even think the actual stock market is even open today, is it? Being a bank holiday, maybe it is. I don't know. I don't really trade indices regularly, but boy, they have definitely been sideways. I don't really think I would be trying to trade any indices today, especially in the New York session, just because it is a bank holiday. It is Martin Luther King Day today. So I mean, there's all the banks are going to be closed, and big money managers and things like that are probably not working today. So going to be a little bit of a slow New York session, which kind of gives you an opportunity to analyze the charts and go over some things. So definitely no problems with that. Sometimes I like these slow days because then you don't really have to worry about too much. You can kind of just spend time analyzing your charts, working on your charts, labeling your charts, doing things like that. So it's good to have slow days once in a while. But I'm definitely still bullish. I don't really think anything is over. I would definitely still be looking for longs in an uptrend. At least until there's a other reason not to, which there definitely isn't a reason not to yet. Like I said, if it goes down and breaks structure, that would be a reason to start looking for sells, but I would definitely be looking for buys right now still. We're not bouncing off a fib level. We're not making any lower highs. There's really no reason to actually think that this trend is over yet. So let's go look at Bitcoin because Bitcoin has been a big topic lately, especially with what happened last week with the EFTs coming out for cryptocurrencies. Now, I think a lot of people are going to get trapped big time in cryptocurrencies. Personally, I think a lot of people are going to lose a lot of money because of what's going on. Now, one of the good famous sayings for stuff like this is to sell the news and buy the rumor. Well, the news last week was that EFTs came out for cryptocurrencies. What happened? It bounced off a fib level, and it looks like it's ending in ABC correction. I personally think there's a pretty good chance that Bitcoin's going down in a big way. I think it may even go down and take out these lows. Now, this has been my analysis. You can watch my Bitcoin or my live stream videos from 6 months ago, and this has been my analysis. Actually, some of the people in my Patreon group were buying Bitcoin way down here around $20,000. There's actually a few members of my group that have made very, very, very high profits off Bitcoin because they were buying way down here. So it's actually playing out exactly how we planned it. So I mean everything is going exactly as planned, honestly. To me, it actually seems very clear. Elliott wave terms, it seems extremely clear. One, two, three, four, five, wave A. I think there's a one, two, three, four, five of A, three waves down, B. I think there's a one, two, three, four, five of C. I think there's a good chance that this is ending a correction, and which is a wave B, which is a correction to the move down wave A. I think there's a very good chance that it's now going down to take out these lows, excuse me, probably down to the $12,000 to $10,000 area is what I think. And there's definitely some liquidity back in this area right here, kind of an order block type thing going on over here. So I think it's going to go down, grab all that liquidity before it goes up. Now, yes, there is going to be probably millions, maybe even billions of dollars flowing into cryptocurrency because of the EFTs, but I don't know. Usually the market doesn't lie, and the market is definitely telling me down. One, ABC, two. This is all three. This is ABC, four. Most likely this is a five. We just bounced off a Fibonacci level, and we bounced off a Fibonacci extension. Big impulsive move down. We need to see a break of structure to really help confirm it. But if we get the end of a trend, which a break of structure will be the end of a trend, if we get that end of a trend, then this is most likely going to be the end of a correction. And most likely Bitcoin is going to be going down longer term for quite some time. So I personally would be looking for shorts right now. I still think it's going to, if it goes down and breaks these lows, I think that's it. I think the way B is over. I think Bitcoin is heading down in a big way. So I know this is probably not what most of the crypto enthusiasts are probably going to want to hear, but this is definitely what I think is going to happen. I think that this is going to continue to go down overall. I think it's probably going to keep going down. I think it's going to break lows. Eventually, it probably will make a bigger correction, like a one and a two, and maybe go up. And when it does start going up, everybody's going to start getting really excited, and then it's probably going to go down again. Grab everybody's liquidity. Look at that fair value gap area. Boy, I bet that will get filled. One, two, and then bam, down for a three. So I definitely am very, very bearish on Bitcoin right now. I think there's a very good chance it's going down in a big way, which I hope it does too, honestly, because if it goes all the way down to this, $10, $12,000 area, I might even purchase one coin, maybe even two coins, purchase a couple coins. Because if this really is a wave C, after that wave C is over, it probably will go up and it probably will make new all-time highs. Everybody's saying Bitcoin's going to be, maybe $150,000 a coin, which I definitely agree that it could be. Because honestly, if you go all the way to the monthly time frame, it really isn't a whole lot of data. But if this is really a one, two, three, four, five, a wave one, and then this is an A, this is a B, it goes down, makes a C, this is an ABC of 2, and then it goes up for a wave 3. A wave 3 is usually going to be about 161% of wave 1 projected off the bottom of wave 2. So that probably would put us up into the $100,000 range, maybe even higher than that. So, I mean, honestly, if this does what I think it's going to do, it's going to be one heck of a money making opportunity, honestly. Big, big time. So we'll see if it plays out like that. Like I said, unfortunately, I think everybody's going to get their asses handed to them when this, because everybody's going to be buying this thing, and I think it's actually going to keep trending down probably for the next 6 months or more, and probably continue back down all the way down to $10,000, $12,000 potentially. So, like I was saying, if anybody has any requests, definitely feel free to to put them in the chats. I'd be more than happy to look at pretty much anything anybody would like to look at. I will look at the video, I guess, since we don't really have much else going on. Like I said, I'm not really much of a stock trader myself, but Elliott Wave does pretty much work across the board. So I mean, I don't see why it wouldn't work on this, on uh, on this one too. Let's put it on there and see what it looks like. Let's see. I think it's NVIDIA that's you're requesting. NVDA? Is that NVIDIA? Yeah, it is NVIDIA. Hmm. Boy, there's a lot of options, huh? But stocks. I want one that says stocks, right? Neo. I'll choose this Neo one. See what that looks like. Let's see what it looks like. It's insane. Wow. Wow, it is really moving, huh? NVIDIA is cranking. Probably because everybody's trying to mine Bitcoin now. Everybody wants those graphic cards. Wow. That is a one heck of a pump right there, isn't it? Wicked pump. Wish I had more data. There's gotta be more data than that on some of these other ones. NVDA. Let's try this one, see if it's got more data. Oh, there we go. That's better. Way better. All right. Wow, look at that. Yeah, I bet people are mining cryptocurrency now. Everybody thinks cryptocurrency is going to the moon, so people are probably buying graphic cards to mine cryptocurrency. Hmm, interesting. Unfortunately, we're in all-time highs, which definitely makes it a little bit more difficult to get a good read on it. But boy, I would definitely be looking for longs, man. Like I said, the reason why it's unfortunate is because there's really nothing to compare it to. We're in all-time highs right now, so it does kind of look like a wave five in my opinion, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a wave five. It does, if it is a wave five, potentially it could turn back down, take out structure, but man, it doesn't have to be. It could potentially just keep going. Man, look at some of these longs too. Higher high, higher high, higher high, higher high, higher high. Man, there's been some major, major nice long opportunities on these things. Major, major nice. I don't think I would. I would definitely continue to look for longs until one of these lows on the daily time frame got taken out. If this thing starts to go down again, I would wait for an end of a correction and I would try to get long again. I definitely don't see any reason to not continue to look for longs until until at least a low gets taken out. Yeah, definitely. I mean, stocks are definitely nothing wrong with trading stocks. That's for sure. Boy, that's a wicked runner. And honestly, it does. This last correction was actually almost a perfect ABC correction. One, two, three ways down and positive up. This one, kind of three ways. One, two. It's kind of more like a trend, but yeah, definitely does make you want to trade some stocks, does it? I mean, potentially that broke structure right there. You could have got in right around this candle, probably. Stop loss maybe below the last swing. And bam, that's probably about a 4 or 5 to 1 risk to reward trade right there. So yeah, I don't blame you. Pretty easy to trade stocks. You just don't get any margin or leverage with it. But honestly, who cares really? Yeah, I mean that's kind of a good question, Mark. Um, a wave B definitely can. A wave B's definitely can make higher highs. And it doesn't even have to be a wave B. Like I said, this move down could be a motive wave correction. If this right here is a motive wave correction, then it very easily could just go up and make new highs. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that it won't keep going up. But according to Elliott Wave, it's not looking good for that possibility. If it right now, especially, it's kind of crucial because if it makes a higher low and turns back up, without going down and breaking the structure right here, then yeah, it probably is going to keep on going. And if it goes any higher than the 61%, then you can pretty much throw the idea of this being a wave C out the window. It's probably and then it probably is a 1, 2, 3. And if it's a 1, 2, 3, then it probably will go up and make new all-time highs. So we're kind of at a little bit of a crucial point right now because we don't have a breaker structure. We don't have an end of a trend. If we get the end of a trend and it's the end of this trend, then it pretty much cannot be a wave three if we get the end of a trend. And the only way we're going to get the end of a trend is by seeing a nice clear break below structure. If that doesn't happen and it makes another higher low, and then turns back up, goes up, bounces off the fib, goes up and goes up beyond the 61% and doesn't respect that level, then yeah, it's probably not a wave C and it probably is a wave three and it probably is going to continue up. So don't get me wrong. I mean, it definitely could keep going up. There's a few reasons why I don't think it's going to. Like I always say, the saying is buy the rumor and sell the news. Well, the news was that came out, and I mean, the market. I could definitely picture the market going down for 6 months. Everybody's going to be totally fed up with it because they're going to lose it. And then it's going to go up and make new all-time highs. But wave B's definitely can go to the 78%. The whole thing is that a wave A, a wave C should not go any further than 161% Fibonacci extension of wave A, projected off the bottom of wave B. So if this does go up further past this 61% and past this 161% extension, then most likely it's not a wave C anymore. According to Elliott wave rules, most likely it is a wave three. And if it really is a wave three, then yeah, it definitely will go up and make new highs. So like I said, we're kind of at a crucial point right now because it has not broken structure. So far, there's really no reason to think either way. It could kind of go either way. So it could be a wave C, it could be a wave three. If it breaks structure to the downside, I think that pretty much confirms that it is a wave C and that it's going down. If it doesn't, then yeah, it's probably just going to keep on going up. So we're definitely at a little bit of a crucial point for sure. Definitely a lot more excitement on Bitcoin and the stock market than these dollar pairs. Man, look at that. Just pretty much 7 trading days of almost nothingness on the dollar pairs. It's been pretty obnoxious, really, to tell you the truth. So, oops, sorry, phone call. Hold on. So yeah, definitely pretty slow going, that's for sure. So I guess since we don't really have much of a request, we'll kind of work our way through these dollar pairs again. I mean, boy, they are definitely still going so slow. Maybe we should check out the yen pairs at least. Maybe that'll be at least beneficial to us. At least the yen pairs have been moving a little bit. We didn't really take a look at the yen pairs yet, but whole thing with these yen pairs is on the higher time frames, none of them have broken any structure to the upside yet. None of them have broken structure to the downside. I'm sorry. Not one of these yen pairs ever broke any structure, which tells me the uptrend is definitely still valid. And yes, on the shorter time frames, I am definitely calling this an AB, but I'm also keeping in the back of my mind that it could be a wave continuation of the uptrend and it could just keep on trending up. But if you look at all these yen pairs, not one of these yen pairs broke structure to the downside. And actually, a lot of them rejected structure, which is actually a good sign that it might just keep on going up. So Man, so far there's not a whole lot going on with uh for to the downside. I mean, there's no reason to think that this is going down. Now, as you go down to sort of time frames, it definitely starts to look like it could go down. But so far, yeah, none of, one of these pairs has broken any structure, including the US dollar yen. Now, as you go down to the sort of time frames, it does lead you to believe that it could go down. One, two, three, four, five, wave A. It definitely looks like impulsive up, corrective down. One, two, three, four, five up. If it bounces off a fib level, if it goes down, if it breaks structure, then you'll know it's a wave B, and you can stop looking for buys and you can start looking for sells again. But I personally would be looking for buys until I saw that break of structure because it may just bounce off a fib level, make another higher low, go up, bounce off a fib level, make another higher low, and keep on going up. So yeah, they all look like they could be in a way B, but honestly, they may not be. They all kind of look like they could do this, but honestly, they may not do that. And if they don't show me this picture, then I'm not going to be selling. I'm buying. I'm a buyer on the yen for sure. And I still think there's a pretty good chance that they could just keep on going up. So I am definitely buying. I mean, I don't think this is over. I don't think it's just going to keep going down. I mean, possibly this is the top right here, but I don't think it is. We don't have a Fibonacci bounce. We don't have a lower high. We really don't have any reason at all to think this uptrend is over. So I would definitely still primarily be looking for sorts of a downtrend, definitely. So yeah, let's see. So I'm sorry, I would definitely be looking for longs until I got that big assumption to the downside. Sorry. I would definitely still be looking for longs. I would expect it to at least go up to the 78% before we saw a big structure to the downside. And like I said, it may not even break that structure. It may just keep on making higher highs, higher lows. So it could easily just keep on going up. So yeah, I'm definitely very bullish on the yen pairs for sure. The dollar, yeah, I've been short on the euro dollar for quite since last week. I'm still short. It's not really doing a whole lot, honestly. I mean, you probably even be better off just getting out and just waiting for it to actually do something. But so far, there's not really much of a reason to get out, except for it's making extremely overlapping patterns. I mean, it still looks like it should be a wave B. It still looks like it should go down, but it is just so overlapping, so corrective. I mean, when the market does this, usually I don't even trade it. I usually go trade something else, like maybe some of the more exotic pairs like the Euro CAD or like the Pound CAD or the Euro Aussie or the Pound Aussie or something like that. Because boy, I need to see a trend. And when there's no trend, it definitely makes things much more difficult. So yeah, I would definitely still be looking for sorts at a downtime for sure. I mean, yeah, it is kind of making a double bottom. It is bouncing, but that doesn't really mean that it's not going to go down. I personally would be looking for sorts still. I still think that this is the top right here, that it potentially is going to keep going down. They all kind of did the same thing, didn't they? They all have that little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I mean, yeah, maybe it will go up for the rest of the day. Maybe you would get some nice little longs, but I think the real money is going to be looking for sorts. That's where the bigger risk to reward potential is definitely going to be looking for sorts in a downtrend. How about gold? Yeah, gold, boy, that looks like it's going to go up, doesn't it? That's probably going to go up and take out these highs. And then I bet it's going to go down. Like I was explaining earlier in the live stream, I mean, this is either an ABC of WXY, ABC of Y, or this is probably a 1, 2 of a downtrend. 1, 2, 3. Either scenario, I mean, boy, I would definitely be looking for long still, definitely. So yeah, kind of a slow day, like I said. Not really much we can do. I mean, it is a bank holiday today in the US. And the dollar has been slow in a ways for weeks, for almost 2 weeks now. The dollar's been pretty much sideways. So yeah, I mean, I guess at this point you just gotta take what you can get. Take your 20, 30 pips if that's what you got, and take it and run. try again later when the market hopefully is actually moving. Because boy, it's definitely not moving much right now. At least the dollar pairs, that is. So, is there any more requests before we send it out of here? Like I said, I don't mind looking at some other pairs if anybody would like. Kind of a slow day. So, yeah, I mean, if I don't get any more requests, I might just call it a day for myself. Go do something else. Because, boy, watching this market is like watching paint dry right now. So, hey, yeah, no problem, CD. I will do these live streams every Monday at 3 p.m. UK time or 10 a.m. New York time. And I definitely want to keep everybody updated on this compound expense sheet that I'm working my way through with the Patreon members. We got up to like level 3 last week, but then the ranging market took me back down pretty much to level 1 again. But I do truly believe that I can make my way through this compound expense sheet, and probably within a month or two, I bet we're going to be trading all the way down at these higher levels. I'm potentially making $5,000 a trade, $4,000 a trade, no problem. So. If anybody wants to participate in my live trading sessions, like I said, I do a 90-minute live stream every single morning at 7:30 a.m. London time, and I also do a New York live stream at 1 p.m. London time. I do the live stream, New York live stream. Down here, I do 4 days a week: Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And the London live stream, I do 5 days a week: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Live trading. Yeah, there's definitely a lots of tips for trading. Like I said, it comes with a trading course too. So really, the first step when you join my, membership is that you should take the trading course and get you a good idea of, how to trade the way I look for trades, and then you start looking at the live trading sessions during the London session and whatnot. What's NQ? Not sure what NQ is. I thought you were saying natural gas, but that's not natural gas. Yeah, I'm actually long on the Aussie Kiwi right now, I'll tell you the truth. So I've been long on this since last week. Uh, Might as well share this one on here because that's kind of where. Let me do this real quick. All right, there we go. So the Aussie Kiwi, I've actually been long on this for since last week. I think this is very clearly impulsive down. One, two, three waves up. One, two, three waves down. WX. One, two, three waves up. Y. And then probably back down again. So I think that this is going to go up, and then I think we're going to get a big push down. Like I said, I have been long on this since last week. I think this is one, two, three, four, five, wave A of wave Y. Let me change colors because yellow's hard to see on this one. One, two, three, four, five, wave A. Oh, NASDAQ. One, two, three waves down, wave B. I think this is going up for wave C. Most likely a wave C of wave Y. Probably back up to the top of this contracting triangle. And then I think we're going to get a huge push to the downside. So like I said, I can't remember exactly where I went long. I think my initial long might have been right here. And I let it come back down because I had a lot of trust in the trade. But yeah, definitely well in profit now. And I'm looking to get in again. I want to build a position because I think this thing has a long ways to go to the upside. If you zoom way out on the 1 hour time frame, potentially this is going to look something like this on the 1 hour time frame. So that's a lot of pips to the upside right there. And then that should be the end of this correction. And then after that, we're going to get out of our long and go short immediately because that is potentially going to make a huge push to the downside once this is complete. So we want to be paying close attention to that for sure. Let's take a quick look at the NASDAQ. Oh boy, let's see, NASDAQ. We looked at the S&P 500, but we can definitely look at NASDAQ also. Nasdaq is already in all-time highs, isn't it? Yeah, Nasdaq is in all-time highs right now. I mean, it does definitely look like a wave five to me. One, two, three, four, five. I mean, it does look like it potentially could make a move down at some point. But boy, there's no break of struts or anything telling us that it's doing it yet. I would definitely still be looking for longs, honestly. Just like the S&P 500, I think this is an ABC correction. I think that right there was the end of a correction, and I don't think it's over yet. I would still look for longs until we got a break of structure for sure. No reason at all to do anything but look for longs in an uptrend. It's very, very slow, and today is a bank holiday in the US, so it may not even do much of anything today. It might just kind of die down and just do this for the rest of the day, but I still think at some point it is going to go back down. Yeah, my live sessions, you have to join my Patreon service. So the link for that is in the chat and in the description. Like I said, it comes with all that stuff. It comes with being able to join my live sessions, and I do 9 a week. So definitely, if anybody's interested in that, please check it out. It's a monthly membership, so you can sign up for 1 month and then you can cancel it if you want. There's definitely no obligations to stay a member. And if you do join, you can get my trading course and you can keep that for free. I mean, I'm not going to take that away from you. So definitely check that out. Like I said, I do a lot for my Patreon members, and we are now doing live trading sessions, and we're working our way through the spreadsheet. So, like I said, I mean, it sounds like kind of a gimmick, but I mean, this is a compounding spreadsheet, and it you could very easily turn a small amount of money into a pretty large amount of money pretty quickly following this compounding spreadsheet that we're working our way through. So, I mean, definitely check it out if anybody's interested. So, like I said, today is a bank holiday. It is kind of slow. I wouldn't really expect a whole lot out of the market today. I mean, the dollar, I still think is going to keep drifting up. Yeah, no problem. I still think over the next few weeks, the dollar is probably going to continue to drift up, probably going to end up doing something like that, probably even taking out the high before it makes a big move down. But I wouldn't really expect a whole lot going on today. I think today is definitely going to be a little bit on the slower side for sure. So I guess for all of you guys on YouTube and guys and girls, I guess I will talk to everybody next Monday. Will be my next live stream. Like I said, I will be live streaming tomorrow morning for my premium members at the London session, and I'll also be live streaming tomorrow afternoon for the New York session. I do a 90-minute London session live stream, and I do a 2-hour New York live stream. So I do about 3.5 hours of live streaming every single day, where we do live trading. Live trading. This morning, I'll just show you real quick. This is my own personal charts right here. So today we didn't really do much. I'm still short the euro dollar. Not really a whole lot going on there. But we went long the Aussie yen today, and we've been long on the Aussie Kiwi. I'm up about 20 pips on that trade too. So I think my initial entry was right here. I think that's where I originally got in. But yeah, last week we had a little bit of a choppy week, but last week was a little choppy. I mean, it was kind of a tough week last week, but we still had a few pretty good trades. This Aussie Kiwi was pretty good. The Aussie yen, it looks like it's doing fairly good. Euro dollar, I think this you just gotta relax and just relax on this one a little bit because not a whole lot's going on with that. But yeah, right now I'm in 3 trades. All of them are in profit. None of them are really big winners right now, but they're all definitely in profits. Like I said, not really big winners or anything, nothing to write home about. But with how slow the market's been, I mean, really anything we can get is not bad at this point, I think. So, like I said, if anybody wants to join, the link for that is in the chats and in the description of this video. So I will talk to everybody next week. I hope everybody has a very wonderful, a very profitable trading week as always. And as always, happy trading and good luck.